Okay, so I'm going to do my presentation on domestic violence. So domestic violence is violence or other abuse by one person against another in a domestic setting, such as in marriage or cohabitation, meaning living together, but it can also be to other children and such that live in the home. This quote states, "I'm living in hell from one day to the next, but there's nothing I can do to escape. I don't know where I would go if I did. I feel utterly powerless, and that feeling is my prison. I entered of my own free will. I locked the doors and I threw away the key." So I use this quote because it shows the life of someone in an abusive relationship and the world that they live in. So I'm going to go over the warning signs that they show before the world is completely shown. So some of the warning signs are that the abuser will begin to display signs that they get you to dictate your feelings, behaviors, opinions, so they try and control what you feel. They'll humiliate you in public. They get angry easy, jealous over children, family, and friends. They isolate you away from your family and friends. They disregard the law, so they don't care if they're breaking the law. They force you to have sex or perform sexual acts. They have dual personalities, so they're angry one second and fine the next. While it'd be fantastic if we could always stop abuse before it occurs, it's just not possible. So let's review the types of abuse and the signs that occur during each. So physical domestic violence is very common. 1 in 4 women and 1 in 7 men will have an intimate partner which causes severe physical violence. 1 in 10 women will be raped by an intimate partner. The most telling sign of a victim is experiencing domestic violence is if they're afraid of their partner. Unexplained bruising, cuts, scratches, or broken bones, or if they're isolated a lot from their family and friends. Emotional and verbal domestic violence. So emotional abuse is also verbal abuse. It's yelling, name calling, blaming or shaming, so just putting each other down. It also includes isolation or intimidation. The reason a lot of attackers use emotional abuse is to chip away at your feelings or your self-worth. And emotional abuse is often minimized or overlooked because a lot of people just don't look at it that way. Isolation with domestic abuse. Isolation occurs when the abuser wants total control of the victim. They create loss of trust within the victim and her family, or they make the victim feel as if no one's on their side. So domestic violence is obviously something anyone never wants to go through, but it does happen, so I need to review the aftermath. Domestic violence is a condition of persistent mental and emotional abuse that occurs as a result of injury or severe psychological shock. The long-term consequences are low self-esteem. Contrary to what many people think, domestic violence is not just physical harm. Hostility, negative attitude, so the person that was abused will typically see the half glass empty. Depression or sexual terror, meaning they're afraid to have sexual relationships with any partner regardless of how they're treated. So those are kind of the reasons and the explanation of abuse, and we can stop abuse by making sure that we always keep in contact with friends if they go too long without talking to you, kind of reach out, and just making sure that you make them aware if you do realize any of the warning signs. So, are there any questions?
Yeah.
Okay, Josie, what's your question?
No question?
Mm-hmm.
Like at what age did this start? Like maybe
Domestic violence can occur at any age. Yes,
If somebody recognizes the signs, what are some of the resources or what can you do to help somebody?
some of the resources are like the women's shelter. They can go there if they need a quick escape. There's also a lot of any counseling center you can go to and receive therapy. Yeah.
how does somebody become abusive? Like, you know what I mean? What do they abuse their partner? Like, what, you know?
Okay, so abusers usually are abused as children. They get like just things that they've seen or the environment that they're around. Any other questions? So, Alicia.
Okay. Does it happen just like friends, or does it just happen with family?
Domestic violence in this situation is family or anybody that you live with.
I'm thinking. Give me a second.
Any other questions?
Have you ever lived in a domestic violence situation?
I have never lived in a domestic violence situation.
Do you know of anybody that's lived in a domestic violence situation?
Yes, I do.
And what did you advise them?
I advise them to move out promptly and to seek therapy. Are there any other questions? Okay, well, thank you very much.